La devo presentare Nicola Mendelsohn, vicepresidente di Facebook EMEA. Con lei abbiamo fatto, prima di questo nostro incontro, abbiamo fatto un bel live, Farinetti, un bel live, sai cos'è, no? Un bel live su Facebook Mentions per raccontare questa giornata. Fatelo anche voi, oltre allo streaming di tutte le televisioni che si vuole, i live qua sono leciti. Nicola? O Nicolà? No.
Thank you so much for joining us here today for the first ever Facebook Forum of the Digital Economy, organized together with Confindustria, Giovani. I hope I get my pronunciations right. Clearly I didn't. Okay, and I apologize for that. The Fed is an example of the power of coming together to spark change. And so I'm really excited to be able to host this event here today with Luca here in Italy, where we know that the digital revolution is young, but where we're also seeing, as Sir Martin just talked to us about, how digital is really coming to the forefront of people's attention. You know better than I do that we live in unprecedented times, and I'm not just talking about British politics. We see massive shifts happening across all different types of verticals and business. Just think about it. The average lifespan of a Fortune 500 company back in 1955 was 75 years. Today, it's just 15 years. I'll give you another example. It took TV 67 years to reach 1 billion people. The smartphone did it in just 5. So it's safe to say that the times we're living in isn't just a fad, it's happened, and the mobile revolution is here and it's staying. And what that means and what that brings is a real digital opportunity. There's new growth to be had by harnessing the power of this shift. So the question then is, well, how do we keep on track of all of this in this fast world that's all about innovation? For us, it comes back to the mission, to make the world more open and connected. That's what Mark started with in his dorm room 12 years ago, and that's what's driving the big bets that we're placing on our future today. And we're incredibly hopeful about the future because we believe and we see how technology is driving process. I'll give you an example where technology is creating community. The 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan was devastating. And our engineers, there was a group of engineers that saw that actually it was a moment where people were reaching out and wanted to connect with their family and their friends to let them know that they were safe. So they came up with the product that was ultimately we now call Safety Check. It's a really simple and easy way to let people know that you're safe to the people that you care about. Since its release, Safety Check has been able to notify over 950 million people that their family and friends are safe. So last November in Paris, after the dreadful terrorist attacks, over 5 million people were able to tell the people that matter to them, over 370 million people, that they were safe. And sadly, we've had to use it again recently in the last weeks, where the terrible incident in Dallas and also the events that happened in Istanbul. Now, Facebook is also a global community of volunteers and donors and activists. Here's an example. After the earthquake in Nepal in 2015, people were able to notify people that they could donate to support the terrible circumstances and the people that were suffering as a result. In the first week, more than 770,000 people were able to use a donate feature on Facebook that raised over $15 million to support the people that needed it. And we're also seeing how this power can come together to really help economies around the world. Today on Facebook in Italy, there's 28 million people, and over 87% of those people are connected to a business on Facebook. Now, in the past, starting a business used to be really expensive, but now we see all over the world that ambitious entrepreneurs can actually take advantage of this and create, if you like, a shop window from their pocket. Now, one of my favorite case studies actually comes from here, and it's Pescaria, and it's an Italian success in food. Now, I know that food is important to people in Italy, and I love it as well. And I'm now going to not do justice to this story because the founders of Pescaria, which is an Italian quick service restaurant, was founded by two people Bartolo and Domingo, who I believe are here today. So guys, forgive me if I don't get it quite right, but this is the story as I know it. Domingo, as chef, had a restaurant in the south of Italy, but wanted to create a different type of business. And they actually started off from day one, without a name, setting up a page. And the first question they posed was, what do you think we should be called? And I believe in the first day, over 100 people had come up with a name, and Pescaria was the one that they went with. They used the most incredible photographs on Instagram and Facebook, offering their products and showing people the delicious sandwiches and different products that they have, featuring Mediterranean seafood. They sell thousands, if not millions now, of paninos, and 80% of their new people that come in, actually they come through Facebook. And I don't know about you, but for me, stories like Bartolo's and Domingo's, I find them incredibly inspiring because they show the diversity of our platform. And connection is more important than ever. As of April this year, we announced that there's now 1.65 billion people on Facebook, with 1 billion people coming back every single day. We've watched Messenger connect 900 million people around the world. And we've seen Instagram revolutionize the way that people connect through photos, with 500 million people now on that platform. And then there's WhatsApp, which has recently become the 2nd billion people platform on the Facebook family. And then we have the long-term bets, the cutting-edge stuff that's not just going to help connect the world, it's also going to help to change the world. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about the shifts that we're seeing in communication due to the mobile revolution, and then I'll show you some of the bets that we're placing on the next decade ahead. So what are the major shifts we're seeing in communication? The first is that communication is going to be much more immediate. And you can see this when it comes to the rise of messaging apps. In 2015, Messenger was the fastest growing app in the US, faster even than Facebook. And now between Messenger and WhatsApp, over 60 billion messages are sent daily. And that's 3 times more than the 20 billion messages that were sent on SMS at its peak. So I think it's safe to say, just even looking at these numbers, that people want experiences, and they want engagement, and they want it quickly. And as messaging has grown between individuals, so too has it grown between businesses and also individuals as well. And today we see that 1 billion messages are being sent between people and businesses. And so we're exploring new ways right now how we can scale these interactions, how people can get engaged from a business perspective on Messenger. And that's making it really possible for businesses to have much more personal interactions and even transactions with customers in an incredible scale. I'll give you an example. We have a partnership with KLM, which were one of our very early beta partners on Messenger. So now you can get your boarding card, you can get your flight information, anything that you want in that relationship with KLM, all comes through in Messenger, all on one thread. And it makes it incredibly easy, no more need to pick up the phone. The second area is around the fact that communication is going to be much more expressive. Because those phones that you have in your hands, those supercomputers, are both now a video and also a camcorder. And at Facebook, we're seeing firsthand how this mobile platforms are really tapping into this shift to visual communications. And the best example of this is Instagram, which has grown that community of 500 million people who are now sharing 80 million pictures every single day. And we've seen here in Italy that Instagram users are checking out Instagram on average 11 times a day, every single day of the week. The third trend is immersion. We just think the future is going to be so much more immersive. And that's going to be driven by new technologies, both in video and in virtual reality. And the effects of this are profound. According to Cisco, by 2019, video data will account for 80% of internet traffic globally. And there's no doubt that that is being fueled by mobile. Mobile video views have grown 600% in the last 3 years and now account for 45% of total global online views. And at Facebook, we're seeing this evidence firsthand on our platforms. While we used to marvel at Italy's beauty in text, now we can do so increasingly in photos and in video. And what we see is that of April this year, people are sharing 3 times more video on Facebook than they were a year ago. People are watching 100 million hours a day on video on Facebook. And we're quickly starting to see how fast developments on video are happening. People are gravitating towards Facebook Live, our real-time video product. And people are just loving how raw and visceral it is. And it's evidenced here on this video. Who saw Chewbacca Mom? Give me a raise of hands if you saw this video. Come on, who saw it? It must have been a few more of you than that, because this video of this mom from a remote town in America, she put on a Chewbacca mask, for those that don't know, and just started Facebook Living out to the world. Little did she know that 2 days later, in a handful of days, 150 million people would have turned in to watch it. And honestly, if you're feeling a bit sad, just go and check out that film, because it will just give you a lightness of touch that you can't imagine. By the way, I think her story is the one really of connection. But from the manufacturers, from Star Wars, that mask is sold out everywhere. You cannot buy it, and I know because I've tried. So that's some of the work that we're focusing on now, and that's some of the work that we're kind of really excited about where it is. But what does the future look like? Where's it all going? Well, we have a saying at Facebook, and for those of you that visited our offices, we have lots of posters and sayings around the place, that the journey is only 1% finished. And that's true. Because when we talk about connecting the world, that is not a metaphor, we actually mean it. We want to literally connect every single person on the planet, because we think that people connected together will make for a better, more open world. Now, doing that means that we need to solve a number of fundamental challenges, and that's leading to some of the most exciting innovation that's ever happened at Facebook. And I couldn't think of a better person to do justice to it than our boss, Mark Zuckerberg. Let's see what he has to say.
So in our 10-year roadmap, we're focused on all of the things that we need to do to help more people get online, from making data cheaper to building completely new technologies like drones and satellites and laser communication systems. This is Aquila. It's a solar-powered plane that we've designed to beam down internet from the sky. And if you'd told me 12 years ago that one day Facebook was going to build a plane, I would have told you you were crazy. The next 10-year challenge that I want to talk about is how we're going to help people connect and share in a more natural and intuitive way. And our goal with artificial intelligence is to build systems that are better than people at perception. So seeing, hearing, language, and so on. We announced a new way for people who are visually impaired to understand images. We built a tool that can now actually start to look at photos and understand what's in them. And it can read them out loud to you if you can't see the photo. This is a great use of AI. And it's an important step towards making sure that everyone has equal access to information. Researchers are using a lot of the same technology to solve completely different problems, like helping astronomers find new planets, or improving self-driving cars, or diagnosing diseases. So in a lot of ways, I actually think that advances in AI can help save people's lives. Finally, we're building technology that's going to change the way that we all experience the world. So I think that virtual reality has the potential to be the most social platform because you actually feel like you're right there with another person. So check out this preview of a very early, very simple social experience that you can have. And keep in mind that these people are physically in completely different places. We are building the technology to give everyone the power to share anything they want with anyone else. And everything we're doing is about building technology that brings people together. Because whether you just want to hang out with a few friends, or start a business, or help solve the world's problems, the path forward is to connect people. That's how we make progress together.
So, give him a clap. So when I look at the big bets that Mark's talking about, from connecting the unconnected to virtual reality, I'm incredibly hopeful for the future. Now, I began this presentation by discussing the disruptive shifts that we face, and I believe that there's two ways to face this disruption. The first is to see it as a threat, to double down on what's been proven to work in the past, and to act through fear. Needless to say that I think that this is the road to ruin. The second response is to see this change as the most incredible opportunity that any of us will ever face, to act with hope, and to grasp the opportunity to connect with people in a way that is meaningful, that is relevant, and that is useful. And in doing this, I believe we can revolutionize the way that we do business and usher in a new golden age that is fueled by mobile and powered by real insights about people that we care about. Because in the end, people are the only thing that matter. Put people first, and the rest will follow. Thank you.
Eccoci. Grazie Nicola. Thank you very much. I ask you a last question about, we are worried about the job position and the destroying or the creating of job position with digital. What's your position on that?
Okay.
If you want, I can give you a mic.
Okay, that's easier.
So you can be here in the center of the stage.
First of all, I love the fact we're both called Nicola. So, hello, Nicola.
Hello, Nicola.
It's good to be with you. So, I think that's the point around fear. We can look at new revolutions. You know, Davos this year, the theme was about the fourth industrial revolution. And in every revolution that we see, jobs do change. That is true, and that makes people feel nervous. But what we also see through every revolution is that there's incredible opportunities that are created. Now, there's been numerous studies done about where the internet is today in terms of penetration in Italy. And it's not where any of us want it to be. The numbers that I hear, are we going live together?
Do you mind?
Let's do it. I'm going live with him. He's the most amazing live person on Facebook. So now the two Nicolas are going live together on Facebook. It's like, I didn't know this was going to happen, okay? But I quite like it.
Yeah, you can speak easily.
We see that internet penetration is around 60% in Italy. Compared to other countries in the EU, we see countries in the 70s and the UK at 80%. So we know it's not where we want it to be. Recent research that was done in Italy actually says that if we can bring more people online, actually there's an incredible opportunity for jobs to be created and significant growth as well, especially through the small, medium businesses. So for the businesses out there that are thinking going online, let me give you a couple of things you can do. One is set up a Facebook page. It's free to do, and it allows you to connect with people anywhere in the world. It allows you, if you have a Facebook page, to instantly become a mobile marketeer. And what that means is you can reach the customers that matter to you. That's what drives business success. And do it in a way that matters to them, matters to you, ultimately drives growth and gets jobs as well. Thank you, Nicola.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you again for being here.